magical ones. Welcome to the Faerie Witch vlog. I'm and Misty has joined me today with her little pumpkin set up here. And today we are, because it's in the middle of November and it's cold, it's still pumpkin season. We're going to do a little fun today, a little kitchen witchery today. So, as I said, I'm the Faerie Witch. I welcome you back, or if you're brand new to the channel, thank you so much, and thank you all for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, and we're going to do something interesting today. So, Misty's got her little pumpkins, and that's kind of symbolic of what we're going to work with. If you're brand new to the channel, what do? Well, we do a lot of different things on this channel. You never know what you're going to get. But generally, I try to always have something that's related to fairies and to the fae. So that is my main focus, being a fairyologist. There's art, there's crafting, there's poetry, there's books, there's reviews, there's recommendations, there's crafting, there's spell work, and of course, fairycraft magic practice. I often talk about my practice. So, you never know what you're going to get, and you never know when you're going to get it. I don't keep the schedule, so feel free to subscribe to the channel. That way you get told when things are coming. I usually try to do either a preview or it might do like a premiere advertisement or something, so you know something's coming. So feel free to subscribe. I really appreciate it. And we are going to get started. So, what are we going to do today? Like I said, a little kitchen witchery. So, Misty, I'm going to get her off my workspace here, and we're going to get started. So, Misty's going to rejoin us again in a little bit, but right now, we are going to make pumpkin pie cupcakes. So, I have to admit, this is the first time I've ever made this recipe. I have no idea if it's any good, but I will tell you, I got it off a group page off of Facebook because I'm on Facebook all the time. And I can't remember if it was a page I follow or if it was one of those that advertises, where it says follow me kind of thing. But anyway, it sounded good. And so I copied it down. I wrote it all out by hand. And so feel free to make these with me. And we'll see how they turn out because I've never made it before. So let's sprinkle a little fairy dust and see what we can conjure up today here in the kitchen, huh? So, what we're going to need. Here's the list. We're going to need a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree, 1 cup sugar, 1/4 cup brown sugar, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, a 3/4 cup evaporated milk, a 2/3 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, so I think I have all this. So let me grab a few things. I need my mixing bowl. I also need a muffin pan, of course. And I have that. I've already lined it with the little paper cup liners. So that's ready. Okay, so let's grab a few supplies. Okay, and the recipe also says we need 2 mixing bowls. So I've got 2 different ones here. Alrighty, so first things first. Okay. Alrighty, it doesn't say that you have to use an electric mixer, a hand mixer. I guess you could. It just says stir together until combined these ingredients. So I guess either way we could do it. I'll try it by hand, see how well I do. If I have trouble, then I'll have to use the electric one. But let's try it the way they say it. Okay, so first things first. They say to put in one bowl the pumpkin. So I gotta open that. So let me go do that. Okay. Canned pumpkin. So we put that in the bowl. Oops. Charcoal heard the can opener, so she immediately thinks a can of tuna has been opened. So here she comes. Sorry to disappoint you, Char. Not now. Maybe later. Okay. Pumpkin is in. Now, next step here. It says we need to add 1 cup sugar. Okay, 1 cup sugar. Okay, 1 cup sugar. In we go. Whee! Okay, now next thing is, it says 1/4 cup brown sugar. Let's see. Okay, and I need a measure cup. Okay, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. It's always so crumbly. You notice that brown sugar often crumbles. Of course, it hardens too. You have to really wrap it up good in order to save it so you can use it later. Otherwise, it becomes rocks, and then you gotta hammer it in. Ugh. Makes it a real pistol to work with later. Thankfully, I don't use brown sugar too often. I use it for the chocolate chip recipe, chocolate chip cookie. And if you saw one of my earlier episodes in October, I made those chocolate chip cookies. So if you're interested, check that out. Okay. Seal this back up. Okay, so that was 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And I'm using light brown sugar because that's all I have. And it doesn't specify The recipe doesn't specify if you're supposed to use dark or light, so I'm just using the light. That's what I've got. Okay, so that goes into the bowl. Okay, next thing is 2 large eggs. All right, 1 little eggie. We hear you, Fairy. And another second egg. Whee! Okay. Sure. And another little tip too, when you're using the eggs, you can save the eggshells after you crack them open. Just pick one side that kind of is a little more stable, so it's probably like the bottom side, and you can put your little fairy offerings into it and put it into a either the fairy house or the fairy ring, or take it out to your fairy garden, and you can just leave it out there. It eventually crack and break and go into the back to the earth, but you can put your fairy offerings in it too, so it makes a nice little bowl for your fairies. And I do that sometimes. I may still save one before I throw them away, so it's a thought for today. Okay, so that was the eggs. Now the next thing is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I need teaspoons. I love this little spoon set that I've got. I bought it from Hobby Lobby. It's fantastic. Bought it years ago. The only thing is, I wish the manufacturer would put the measurements in color so you can see it. All they did was stamp it into the metal, and you have to get the light just right to be able to read it. And even then, I got to wear the glasses to read it. It would be so nice if they actually put it in an actual color, stamp it in so you can read the darn things. Measuring cups, the same thing. Manufacturers don't put it in color. Yeah. Knitting needle companies. You've heard me complain about that, I'm sure, in the past. Knitting needle companies, they make these terrific knitting needles, and you need to know what size they are. So they put it on there, but sometimes you can't read them because they're stamped into the metal. So, they need to put them in color or something so you can read them better. It's a pet peeve. It drives me crazy. Okay, so this is let's see, what was it? 1 teaspoon, yes, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's what I gotta get. There it is. Okay. Alright, so 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract goes into the potion mix. Whee! There we go. Alright, that's in there. Okay, so then the next thing is a 3/4 cup of evaporated milk. And I got that finally. Took me a couple of days to finally get that delivered, but I got it. Let's see, so we need 3/4 cup. 3/4 cup. Aha. 3/4 cup. And I gotta open this one. Alrighty. I don't think I've ever made used a recipe where I had to have evaporated milk. This is a new experience. Okay, so 3/4 cup evap milk. So we're gonna pour it in. All right, and that goes in. Yep. Alrighty. Let's get this out of the way. Alright, so then the next thing is flour. We need a 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour. Okay, sorry, had some technical issue there. I don't know if you could hear me or see me, but on my perspective, the screen froze, although my little clock was still running, so there might have been a glitch. I apologize, but I didn't do anything yet, so that's something. Okay, so, alright, 2/3 cup flour. Alright. Next thing is the pumpkin pie spice, and we need 2 teaspoons of it. I never even, I've had this and never even used it once, so this is the first time. This recipe is actually having me try new things. This is kind of cool. Okay, so 2 teaspoons. Okay, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. So 1, whoops, 1, 2. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Next thing is we need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Salt, whoops. Okay. Alright, here we go. 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, and we also need the 1/4 again, so keep that out. Okay. Alright, next thing is baking powder. Okay. So it's another 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Alright. And Oh, that was baking soda. I screwed up. Okay. Oops. Okay, that was the baking soda, but we also need the baking powder, so I am right. But that was the soda. So 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, then the 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Alright, so I got that. Okay. Alright, so finally we have all of that. Now, it says okay, so that's when it says to stir it all together, or I might end up putting it on the mixer just until it's well combined. It doesn't give a time duration. So let's see. Okay, it's turning at a nice orange color. It's not completely smooth, but it doesn't say that. It doesn't say to smooth it out. It just says until it's combined. So I'm just going to make sure. It's pretty. You can really see the pumpkin pie filling. It really does look like the traditional filling. It smells okay. Alright. It's kind of a really wet consistency. I'll try to show you here. Okay. Alright, so then I guess you put that aside, and then we're going to need the second bowl. And in the second bowl, it says, what does it say? Oh boy, okay. Bloody hell. Alright, like I said, I'd never made this recipe before, and I just messed it up. Well. Oh, okay. Bloody hell. I didn't see that second notification down there. I'm sorry, guys. I goofed up. Don't hate me, don't hate me. Hopefully you're not making this. Hopefully you're only writing it down. I screwed up. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, I goofed. In the second bowl, we were supposed to whisk together the flour, pumpkin spice, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. Okay? We were supposed to whisk all the dry ingredients, and then you combine them together. Alright. I goofed. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I'm no expert, you know. I never made it before. I'm sorry. Okay. But it's all going to get combined anyway. I just didn't whisk it in. So I don't need this now. Bloody hell. I swear. Oh, it's a journey, huh? Okay, so, adjust your recipe, please, and hopefully when you get around to making this, you're going to be better off than I am at this point. But it is all going to be combined, so I just skipped a step. Jeez. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure it's really, really well combined. Bloody hell, I swear. Okay. Now let me read this one more time to make sure, because there's more steps here. Okay. Alright, so we are going to turn on the oven, and you're going to set it at 350 degrees. And then I'm going to fill the cupcake pan. So let me clear this and do that. Alright, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Just get some of this cleared up a little bit. Alright, so I've got my cupcake pan, got my little liners. The oven has just turned on, so it's going to be starting to heat up while I'm doing this. Okay. Now, I'm going to probably use my little ice cream scooper. Sometimes it's handier when you're trying to do batter. I used to have one of those neat tools where you fill in the batter and then you could just plop it in. And I think it broke. I think it's long gone. So I'm doing the rustic version of this. Okay. And it says to fill the cups about 1/3 of the way. And to be honest, I never do that. I just go by sight. You know, I just by eye. I try to fill them at least halfway of the cup. That way it gives it halfway to puff up when they're cooking, baking. So that's generally what I do when I make cupcakes, and I make cupcakes a lot, or muffins. So it's about the same. Sometimes you get bigger ones, sometimes a little bit smaller, but generally I just kind of fill them up halfway. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let me turn the pan around. And even though Thanksgiving is almost here, you know, these are good for, you know, Halloween as well. I was going to make them for Halloween and do the video then, so you guys could see then, but I had done other baking videos, and I thought I really did a lot of Halloween ones this year. So I thought I'll wait and do this one for November. So that we can make it for either time. Whoops. Spilled. Okay. There's actually a lot of batter left, so I can do another pan, because this is a pan of 12, and I think there's enough to make 24. They should be able to make 24 of these little guys with this. So, and like I say, I'm filling the cups almost halfway, all of them. So, yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good that you can get that many out of a batch. So let's do this. Okay, so I can get another pan. So let me do that, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I got my second pan, and I put the liners in. It's another 12, and I filled 10. So let's see how that works. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Again, I'm filling these about halfway, and alright, let me spin it around. Okay, almost there. Yeah, there really isn't much batter left. So I've got 22 of these little guys. If I made them a little bit smaller, I probably would have gotten the full 24, but that's okay. Yeah. It's all right with me. Okay. All right, let me just wipe off the little excess that dripped. Okay, all right. Alrighty, so they are ready to go in. Alright, so it says, okay, so at 350 degrees, you bake them for 20 minutes. So let's set my timer. Okay. And, okay, so they bake for 20 minutes, and after that, you let them cool down for about 20 minutes. After you pull them out of the oven, let them cool down 20 minutes. Then you put them in the fridge for an hour. Then after that hour, you can top them with, it says, whipped cream, pumpkin pie spice, and or cinnamon. Sounds good. Yeah, I'd try them with the whipped cream and the cinnamon. Maybe a little bit of pumpkin spice. I might try it. Do a combo. Yeah, okay. So, we will take a break while they're baking. And then when that's done, we'll see how they look, how they turned out, right? Take it from there. Okay, so I checked the little timer, and it's got, I think, 8 minutes and 35 seconds. We're in the countdown, so just waiting for them to come out, and we'll check them, and we'll see how they turned out. So anyway, so Thanksgiving is coming, and I really, it's American holiday, of course, so I mean, we celebrate it more here in the U.S. than other countries, of course. Some of them may not even heard of it, but I mean, it's our tradition, good or bad. It's our good tradition. I don't get into all the historical facts and all that sort of stuff. We really don't celebrate. I mean, the day of, usually Thanksgiving Day, I try to make something. Um, you know, it might be just a little ham, or maybe just, it's a little portion of a turkey. I've never actually cooked an entire turkey before, and I don't want to. Um, the turkey I buy is from Walmart, and it comes in a bag, and it's not the whole turkey. It's like maybe a third of it, a third of a turkey, and you still have to cook it, but you don't have to cook it for 4 or 5 hours. Generally, because it makes you have to use a meat thermometer, and so you got to go by the temperature rather than the time. But generally, the last couple of times we've cooked it took about an hour and a half just to do a third of the turkey. But that's actually enough, because it gives us a really generous portion for the one meal. Then we usually have leftovers, and we share them with the kitties and everything. But I mean, there's usually enough for two meals of each for Matthew and myself. And so, it's pretty good. I mean, if we cut it back, we could probably make it 3. So it depends on what other stuff I might bake or make with it. If I make a bunch of stuff, the vegetables and the potatoes and, bread or, biscuits or whatever, and then some desserts, then you don't need as much turkey and we could, make it stretch. So, we could get anywhere from 4 to 6 meals out of just this 1/3 of a bagged turkey. So, that's probably what we're going to do this year. And that way I don't have to spend as much time in the kitchen slaving away. We don't have family, so I don't have any family at all. And Matthew's family, it's a different weird kind of situation. So, um, it's one of those where he's in contact with them, but we've never seen them kind of thing. So, yeah. Um, and other family members on his side has passed away. So, it's just basically the two of us and the cats. So, I don't need to bake a bunch of stuff. And we never go anywhere. We're stuck here. So, it's kind of it's like another day. So I try to do something nice, but my father passed away on Thanksgiving Day years ago, and that still gets to me. I try not to let it get to me too badly, so I don't, you know, dampen the vibes of the house and try not to make him depressed and everything. So I try, but I still think of it, you know. Even though Thanksgiving was not a big thing for my father, though we used to go out. We used to do a lot of camping when I was younger. And so there was one place that we would often go to and spend like 4 days, the Thanksgiving holiday. And we'd be riding motorcycles out there, and they made the restaurant that was there in the campground area. They had it used to be good. I don't know now. The last time Matthew and I went, which was years ago, it wasn't so great anymore, which was a shame. But yeah, they would cook a nice Thanksgiving dinner years ago. So we would go there every Thanksgiving. And Mom didn't cook it. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, think about your Thanksgiving traditions. What do you do, or your family do, or what are you planning to do this year? Anything different? Feel free to let me know if you want to. Like I say, I kind of focus more on the fact that it's more of a harvest, season. It's fall, so I try to focus on, things are cooling down. We're getting over that heat wave that we had. Of course, now we're starting to freeze, and that's not good either. But I'm trying to focus on the fact that the seasons are changing, and the fairies are they're out there doing their thing, and now's the time to kind of try to clean up the garden a little bit and hunker down for wind and rain and all the other that I'm not looking forward to. And yeah, so I got a lot more gardening and yard work I gotta do before the weather gets really bad. I'm trying. It's very hard on me physically with my issues. So I did apply for help through a nonprofit organization. I wish they would get back to me. They've not yet. It would be nice because they have volunteers that sometimes can come out in your area and help you. And I need the help. I mean, I'm willing to get out there and do what I can with them, but I can't do it all by myself, and I don't have the equipment. So it would be nice to have that help. So, anyway, so that's kind of what I'm planning on doing the rest of this month. And I got projects I'm going to do. If you saw my October vlog, you already know some of the things I'm trying to get done. So, let's check our counter. 1 minute and 42 seconds. Let's see here. 19 seconds. Then we pull these little suckers out.
That's what they said about me. They ended up waiting a week or two, so pretty sure that's not going to happen here.
Yeah, I hope not.
It's like there's a week old cupcake in my oven. Wait a minute. Oh shit. I just realized. Sometimes I don't think before I
speak. Yes, we know, dear.
I don't.
We know, dear. We know.
Ah.
Nah. Okay. Gonna let them bake for a couple more minutes because they still are a little bit raw. Okay, well, unfortunately, I've just checked them and they're not quite baked yet, so I'm giving them a couple more minutes. Gotta check them every time. And Matthew is playing games behind me. For all of you who don't or haven't seen him.
Well, part of me anyway.
Anyway, I'm using my cupcake needle to check them, and I'm just going to check them every couple minutes because the darn things are still a bit raw in the middle. So maybe I didn't preheat the oven long enough. Maybe that's what makes the difference. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just going to keep an eye on it, and we will be back with you. Okay, I'm going to check them again. They've been in there for another 3 minutes. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is pull them out. Yeah, it's hard to tell, guys, because it's batter is still coming onto the needle. And it's not cakey, it's still kind of wet. So I'm thinking maybe they need a little more time. Okay. Well, let's try it again. 2 more minutes. And I'll check them again. They're still really wet. I know the muffin recipe I sometimes make, when I make them with the apples, I have to compensate because the apples really do make that muffin recipe wetter, so it takes them longer to bake. But like I say, this is a brand new recipe to me. Never made these before, so I'm thinking that the canned pumpkin really added a lot of moisture. Plus, there wasn't a lot of flour, really. There really wasn't a lot of flour to this recipe. So, yeah, I'm thinking 20 minutes isn't enough. So far, they've been in there like 28 minutes, I think. I think I'm at 28 minutes already. They're supposed to be 20. So, I don't know. The kitchen witchery's on, it's going haywire. Yeah, we'll check it. Another minute. Okay, magical ones. These pumpkin pie cupcakes have been in here in the oven for about 32 minutes, and they're supposed to be 20. Like I say, they've been wet. They've been really wet, so I'm going to pull them out one more time. Let's check them again. Let's see what's going on. They smell nice. It's just See, there's still batter coming off the little needle. But still, it said 20 minutes, and it's been over half an hour. I don't know what to, I don't know what to do, because they look okay, but maybe they need to cool down and solidify. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Timer. Okay, guys, so the latest update, I pulled out one tray, one pan. This is what they look like, okay? Now, they look okay, but they're actually caving in on the inside, in the centers. And, I mean, they smell nice, but they're caving in into the center. Not one of them puffed up over the top of the cup. And I filled them halfway. They should have, risen. And they did not. Look, all of them are like this. All of them are like grooved. They've got grooves, like their cups. I don't get it. I think based on what I usually make, because I make cupcakes a lot, I'm gonna say the pumpkin, there was either too much pumpkin and it made the batter really wet. And I think part of it is there wasn't enough flour in the recipe. It said a cup. So that's what we did, a cup of flour. I don't think that was enough. So I've got the other tray still in the oven. I wanted to see if I put it in there for 40 minutes. Let's see what it does, if it makes any difference. So I'm going to pull that out and see how they look. Okay. So these guys are smoking. They don't look burned, but they're smoking. And no, they don't have a brand. They don't smoke a pack a day, No. I mean, really, there's smoke coming off of them. So I'm thinking these have been in here a while, but they look almost the same as the other ones. It's just really weird. Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? Like I say, this is the first time I've made this, and I will try them one more time. Matthew came back out, and he's like, he heard me talking, on tape, and he's like, well, they're still edible, right? We still eat them. I said, well, yeah, I think so, but I said they're just really wet. I don't know. So I am going to make these things again. Not today, not on camera, but I will make this recipe one more time. But I'm going to doctor it up. I'm gonna, sprinkle more fairy dust and really conjure up something different. And let's try it a different way and see if it makes a difference. But like I say, they look okay. They smell nice. But they're sinking in the middle. I don't know. I think they're off, but we will try it. So I'm going to let one of them cool down because they're way too hot. I'm going to cool them down. Let's taste them. That'll be the next step. Okay, let's see here. This is falling apart. I'm going to try it. Plus I want to see what it looks like on the inside. Ooh, hot steam. You can see the steam coming off of it. Okay, the taste isn't too bad. It's pretty good. But yeah, it's a little mushy in the inside, in the center. But it's like having a piece of pumpkin pie, you know, because the pie, you've got the crust, then you got the soft filling on the inside. So it actually is like having a pumpkin pie in a little cup. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I would say that was the best analysis, is that it tastes like a pumpkin pie slice, but in a cup. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. And you add the whipped cream or Cool Whip to it, that would be nice. So yeah. So if that is what the creator of the recipe was going for, then yeah, that works. But I still think that they should, if they're going to say that, they need to rename it, because it's not a cupcake. There's not enough flour in it to give it that consistency, you know, to bind, to get it all, you know, mashed together, and it doesn't taste like a cake, is my point. So they really shouldn't call it a cupcake. They should call it pie in a cup, because that's basically what it is. But yeah, it's not a cupcake. So, like I say, I think next time I will make it, and I'm going to doctor it up my way. I don't know if I'll make a video of that or not. Maybe. Maybe. We could try it, right? Just so you have an option. But, yeah. I mean, some of these cupcakes, or these cups, were in the oven at 350 for 40 minutes. And they're still wet and a little bit mushy in the inside. But again, it's like having pie. It's like having a piece of pie. So the taste is nice. Yeah. But it's pie in a cup. It's not a cupcake. It's just not cake. To me, there's just not enough cake in there. Not enough flour. So, yeah. But it was interesting to try it. I know. We tried. And I admit, you know, to recap, this is the first time I've made this. Secondly, I messed up by not whisking all the dry ingredients in the separate bowl. That was my goof. So maybe that's making part of the difference. I don't know. And like I say, I think the third, you know, there was a lot, that was a, you know, 15-ounce can of pumpkin might be just a little too much. And, or there wasn't enough flour. So if they were going to use, if I was going to use that 15-ounce can again, I'm going to add flour to it next time. I'm going to try maybe like a 1/4 cup or a half cup and add it and see if that makes a difference. Because it's not a cake. At this point, it's not a cake. It's more like the pie. So, yeah, they're nice little desserts. They're cute little things, cute little appetizers and stuff like that. They taste good. They're not, you know, it's not bad. It's just I don't think it's a cake. So yeah, so let's try this again sometime. Let's try it again my way and see if it makes a difference, and then we can choose, right? So, anyway, all right, well, this was an experiment in kitchen witchery today. Yeah, cookery. So, I thank you all for watching and taking part and sitting through this entire thing, and I really appreciate it. I hope that you have better success with this recipe if you make it. And let me know. Let me know what happens when you make yours, and we can compare notes. But yeah, to be fair, I will give it one more shot, but I'm gonna make it my way, and let's see which comes out better. Yeah, but again, they're not terrible. They smell good. They look nice, and it's more like a little piece of pumpkin pie. Put in the whipped cream in the top and little spices like it recommended. And again, I think it would be, they make nice little desserts, little party favors, little appetizers. So it's just they need to rename it. They need to rename the recipe. So anyhow, so thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. Please check out the rest of my videos on the channel. There's a variety of things to check out and watch. There will be more videos coming this month. I plan on, we're going to do some cat training videos. We're going to have some more magic spell work videos. And there might be one more about books and poetry, that kind of thing. So, maybe. So check it out. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like the video if you did, or any of them, and feel free to donate to our PayPal link if you would like. That would be so great. We really, really, really need the help. I'm not kidding. Just add a note that it's a donation. I thank you so much. And you might just be one of the lucky ones that I will send a little message back to with a free gift. If you want to give me an email or whatever, we can chat. But if you do that, I can email you a little special thank you gift. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a fairy day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.